Hello there, everybody. That's right, it's the great and glorious, soon to be famous one day, Nick Dutch, back on the camera yet again with another delightful tarot reading. Again, we're using the Book of Thoth. Now, we've had a fair few more inquiries coming through on the Nick Dutch Tarot YouTube channel, for which I'm very grateful. Thank you very much for making your requests. Yes, I do allow repeat requests, but I can't do them too frequently, okay? So there have been one or two people who I've read for within the past few days who've been submitting multiple requests like on a daily basis, and basically that I can't quite do. It would affect the flow of the tarot show itself, and basically it would look like I'm showing some favoritism. So there will be some times when I won't be able to answer your question, for which I do actually apologise in the here and now. But do keep some inquiries coming in, because essentially that's wonderful. That's what keeps the tarot show alive. Remember, all inquiries via private message, and I'll be happy to add you to the rotor, okay? Now, without further ado, we're going to go straight on and have a look at the first inquiry. Just a second, please. Now, the life of a professional tarot reader is often fraught with moral dilemmas which appear on a regular basis. We have a YouTube user inquirer called Nina15C, who's been one of the inquirers in the past, in the recent past actually. And the question which has been asked that I've just opened up is not necessarily one that I feel comfortable with answering, and there are some very good reasons for that. Nina would like to reconnect with her ex, but her ex is not being receptive, and so she needs closure that that particular aspect, that relationship is over before she can even consider to move forward with the other connection which she has an interest in. I'm not here to tell you what you should be doing. You need to see your readings in perspective. You can use these things as an opportunity for reflection and contemplation, yes. And that's a very good thing, and I feel glad that I can provide you with that service. But under situations like this, when it's actually much more worthwhile talking directly to your ex and saying, look, we could have a future together, we could make it work, what I need you to do is tell me whether it's over or whether it's not. You know, that's what's basically required there. And I should not be the one to tell you what he is thinking under these circumstances. What I am prepared to do is to have a look at the other relationship that you're talking about, not the one with the ex, but the other individual, and see basically what kind of thoughts, feelings, moods and energies are appearing there. And I'll do that for you right now. I've been shuffling quite extensively. We'll just see what kind of things appear. Just a second, please. Okay, the cards for the here and now are down, and the signs are fascinating. The thing which defines the forces between you, which does actually match the situation quite substantially, is the beautiful card of transition. Alright, the Death card. And the Death card's turned up reversed here, suggesting that there are a few problems in trying to create a transition. So this is an individual who's already got their designs on you and would like to make something happen, but of course there's an obstacle that you and I already know about, okay, which is basically holding things up. On his side of the reading, very strong signs of strength and stability, the kind of individual who could possibly be around for a long period of time and would like to be able to create a good quality, stable, long-term connection there, with a sense that he's had a few problems in the past, but they're nowhere near as bad as other people that you've known. So this is a completely different type of individual who's not struggling with life, not struggling with progress, but has got the ability to try and create good quality change that you would actually approve of. On your side of the reading towards him, this is actually looking much more and more of a positive reading in a relationship sense than you might think. The Lovers card does not always speak about love, does it now? No. It speaks about moving on with somebody else or moving into a new phase of life and away from the old. I feel that you want this new guy more than you want the ex. That's my impression. I could be wrong there, of course, but What were the signs on his side of things, talking about stability and progress and wanting to be around for a long period of time, which could be something that you yourself have noticed, as well as a willingness on your side of things to move away from an old way of life and onto a new way of life. The portents here are actually fascinating, as well as this sense of transition. Could it be that the only thing that's holding you back is yourself and your inability to let go of the ex? That was a question. That was not a statement. Okay? But let's just have a quick look and see how the future could possibly pan out with this new individual. Alright, well the signs here are really rather interesting and intriguing. There's a sense of there being something of an almost miraculous nature. Miraculous things in the real world aren't necessarily totally over the top and unlikely, but a question of maybe a sense of happiness that you would have liked to have had, which has the capacity to appear in this connection. Now, as far as the distant future is concerned, it's looking a little more dour, a little more down to earth maybe. And why would those signs be appearing there? Some people say, is this person my soulmate? Do they know what a soulmate is? I tend to see the word soulmate as being descriptive of maybe the first stage of a relationship, when everything is sort of like bubbly and there's a wonderful feeling of love and connection and everything is great. Okay, a sense of joy. But in every relationship that fades away, but something else has to replace it. And trying to move on to that life partner stage can be a bit difficult. And probably that's why we've got some darker signs later on down the line, when you'll be questioning whether this is a life partner connection or not. This is the time of life when you've got to make up your mind. Yes. Well, sorry, let me rephrase that. It would be my opinion that this is the time of life when you've got to make up your mind. And the long-term future signs are suggesting that this new individual is probably a little better for you than your ex. But I don't want you to think about approaching this new individual properly until you've got hard and fast, black and white, crystal clear clarity from the ex. Once you've done that, then you're okay. Okay, we've got another YouTube inquirer. This one is called My Love is the Truth. And again, we've got a very serious moral question associated with this particular reading, because this inquirer has been told that there is a variety of negative energy, so to speak, which has been attached to her, possibly even at birth. There are many impressions about the apparently spiritual world which people make claims to. But if you speak to two different mystics, you will get two different impressions. And whichever truth you are being given might not necessarily be the correct one. In many ways, a feeling of something negative that somebody else, in inverted commas, picks up could be due to something which is negative inside you, which you need to deal with through other sources. What is this dark force? What do you think this dark force is? How do you experience it? Is it a negative emotion? Is it negative opinions? Is it a feeling of hatred or inability to connect with other people? How does it manifest itself? There's a school of thought which suggests that spirits themselves latch onto ideas that we have, and therefore have some variety of influence over us, but they're only kept in place by those ideas and those views and values that we have deep down inside our psyche. And if we can change those and choose to change them, then we've got the opportunity to start getting some real progress. Now, how do we do that? Well, there's counselling, therapy, there's speaking to the doctor. There's a wide variety of normal day-to-day ways in which we can do this. And I would recommend that you would use those methods as well as any form of spiritual methods, such as using sage incense and making sure you live a healthy life with good nutrients and exercise. But let's have a quick look and see what the reading says today about your energy and your aura. Bear with me a second, please. Now, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll already be aware that one of the ways in which I get my reflection is just because of the colour combinations of the cards. And what do we have here? Very good signs, again, of healing, of mercurial energies, blues and yellows, with very strong blues with the Knight of Cups there. According to the reading, you're a very sensitive individual who's had an awful lot of instability and dramatic change within your life. The feelings that the reading is giving me is that you're someone who wants to be able to get yourself involved in an empathic way to try and help other people. You seem to have a strong desire to help others. Maybe you feel negative because every single time you try and help other people, it gets thrown back at your face. There's a feeling that you're jumping to the conclusion, or the assumption is that there's something wrong with you, maybe karmically or historically, and as a result of that, it's causing the problems of other people reacting badly towards you. I feel you don't love yourself enough. I feel that you are not focusing on your own survival, and you've been focusing on other people's survival. And when you've been trying to make friends, you've been trying too hard and not trying to make yourself look appealing through making sure you are a strong individual who's looked after yourself financially, psychologically, emotionally, and on every other level. That would be my impression. My feeling is that you do have the capacity to do other people an awful lot of good, but only once you yourself are strong enough to be able to do so. And once that is there, once that's in place, then you'll have the capacity of overcoming struggle and strife in other people and using your sensitivity to help other people as well. But at the moment, you're not quite there. That would be my impression. I would say that as far as if there is any spiritual energy around you, do the traditional stuff: diet, nutrition, exercise. Also use sage as an incense, and of course get yourself checked out for allergies and anything else you might have, to make sure that you're physically strong enough to be able to deal with any form of attack you get. And you also get yourself some counselling therapy so that you're intellectually and emotionally capable of coping as well. But also try and focus on yourself and your needs, and bring yourself to the level of strength and power that you need to be at in order to try and get the progress you need in your life. Okay, we've got another inquirer. Ladil Gold 01, I think, is the channel name. This is an individual who is inquiring about one particular potential relationship with one individual. This is someone that she's got a good feeling of connection and attraction to, and wants to know how the future is going to pan out. So we'll go back to the traditional Nick Dutch, traditional 8-card relationship reading. And I think I said traditional twice then. Never mind. We'll see basically what's going to come through for you today. Here we go. Still been shuffling like mad. Book of Thoth Tarot. Standard specification. One more time. Okay. Well, we've got some fascinating things coming through for you right now. I really feel that there is something very good associated with this individual. There's no signs of instability or ruin. There are some signs of knowing what is the right thing to do, but not quite being able to get there in what I call the forces between you, which is the card which stands between the card on your side of things and on his side of things, okay? That's essentially the way that the reading is panning out. There's a sense of maybe anxiety or fear associated with how you actually make the progression occur, and how you actually try and get onto the right level and on the right track with this particular individual. He's already got feelings for you. That's a very good sign. Strong signs of something romantic, a sense of something ethereal binding you somehow, and on his side of things a great sense of happiness and joy, with a sense of there being some determination to make something happen. But whilst you're still under this feeling of, oh my God, what's really happening here, and can we actually move further forward, then essentially you've got a few problems, and those problems will have to be overcome. So it's a difficult situation. On your side of things, the sense of connectivity and passion is there. You're you're a unique individual, because although you've got that sense of connection with him, you've got a certain level of objectivity and a certain level of rationality. So you don't want to upset things too much with what you've got already, but you do want to try and build what you would like to have with this new individual. So that's looking quite interesting. You definitely need to talk more. You definitely need to find opportunities to talk more. I feel that you may struggle with some of his attitudes, but that's part and parcel of trying to get a connection going. So you need some acceptance. Obviously, with the objective stance you've got at the moment, you can actually try and make something good occur, potentially for the future. It's not looking negative. It's looking like it's got a great deal of potential, like a massive rain cloud about to give all of its water to the crops and bring about something nourishing and beautiful. Okay, so the potential is there, but the first few steps need to be taken in order to give you that wonderful sense that you need in the longer term future. Now, one question that I'm asking the reading right now is, why do we only have cup signs in the here and now part of the reading, and I have romantic signs on his side of things, but there's no signs relating to, loving passion in the short term, mid term and long term future? The feeling and energy I've got associated with that is that it's going to build over a long time. It's going to be a relationship, but it's got to build up, and you're going to have to store up good memories and good experiences with this individual for the longer term future. If you can do that, I feel you've got a longer term future. Okay, so I wouldn't worry too much about how things are going to work out. Just carry on building what you've got. It is looking good. Okay. Well, those are the inquiries for today's tarot show. Thank you very much indeed for joining me today and watching on internet television on demand. If you've got further requests, or anyone else out there has got requests, then please do submit them through private message. Don't forget to subscribe, okay, because watching someone else's readings can actually do you a lot of good as well. It can give you a bit of perspective at that moment of clarity. And in our busy lives these days, there's so many opportunities for us to lose track of who we are, what we're about, and to start developing some silly ideas about life, about relationships, and about a wide variety of other issues and subjects. So you've got to bear in mind that you do need time out of your day just so that you can get yourself grounded and be able to see these stressful situations in your life from another point of view. Okay? Your tarot reader is not the final solution to your problems. Your tarot reader is someone who is part of the process, a very small part. Some would argue an important part. But although we're here to help, we are not the total cure of all your problems, and you must remember that. Alright? Don't forget to rate and comment, and I will look forward to speaking to you again very soon indeed. Okay?